All right, hey everybody, Will here again, starting up another game in our international fan group. Love playing the winners of these tournaments in a bonus round game. Very, very good players in general. And today we have Eddie Ijachi, who you can see an average score of 29. That's pretty high. So we're dealing with a good player for sure in Eddie, a name I recognize, a very, very consistent competitor in these tournament groups. So let's start it up. As is my custom, I will pass. Very tempting to exchange tiles instead of passing my turn here, but we're gonna stick to what I said. Pass it to Eddie and hope he doesn't hit me too hard and gives me a vowel to work with 7 consonants to open the game. Not sure I even have a playable word here, so we will pass and hope for the best here. Okay, 72 points for Eddie to start. Timider with a blank E, nice play. So I'm definitely in a bit of trouble to start the game. Certainly not a ton to think of here. Either I'm going to try to play something as long as I can through the E or I, or I'm going to exchange. So let's see, what can I find? This is maybe the longest word, unless I'm missing something through the E. It doesn't feel like I'm likely to have anything longer through the E. I certainly am going to want to use one of my 2 L's, and then at least one of F and P, and probably the G. I have this. This is maybe the best I can do. Very uninspiring start. I think this is slightly better than Delft just because it doesn't keep PG on the rack, which is not a great combination. At least PLD has some synergy, and it leaves the E of Timider open, which I like holding a D in case I draw something ending in ED. So exchanging has merit here as well, just to keep the board as open as possible, but I'm going to go ahead and do this and hope for the best. Okay. Drew the second blank. That's really helpful. Polkad, Padlock. Those don't play on this board, but so I mean Polkad plays here, and it's a decent play, but it's not a bingo. I need something a little, oops. Wow, okay. Looks like Eddie is really there. So, man, this I, right? If there was an I in this. So even without the I, something like this is going to score quite well, or maybe I have to play this instead. That's pretty good, but definitely wanting to try to bingo here. Okay, I'm not seeing anything through this eye. It would be a pain to miss something here, but I'm gonna trust my gut and hope that there isn't anything there. And with this blank, I can afford to be a little bit more not quite as hell-bent on leaving every bit of space open. So like I could play something like this. Not quite, I can't play IP. I guess I could play this too. So This does close off my eye in the center of the board, but it scores 39 points, and I have the second blank, and I should a lot of draws. If I draw an S, certainly glyphs is going to be very hittable, and otherwise I'm going to hope that I manage to hit something, I guess. I don't know. Maybe I need to leave this eye open. This might be the right play in this situation, just to create a new lane. This lane is only getting hit with a bingo, which I have. I don't have any hooks for Ka, which is problematic, but maybe I'll draw one. Something like tadpole or something. Tricky. I think given my early deficit, I'm going to make this play, which is kind of weird, and hope that I draw at least one vowel, and leave myself a few more options for bingoing on subsequent turn. It's kind of a weird play, but we'll go for it and see what happens. Jesus. Okay. That's not ideal, I guess. Eddie seems to be here. Of course, I have to go shortly, so maybe we'll call it a turn here and return later. Ooh, okay, so I just missed the last play by Eddie there, and it is very fortunate for me. He just plays Uoi. So if you are a North American Scrabble player, you're going to be saying, what the heck? If you play with the Merriam-Webster lexicon. Let me just see if my drawing tool works. There we go. So that play, 4 vowels, no consonants. Obviously, I think the definition is an exclamation of Bacchic frenzy. Yeah, there it is. So you can see, obviously, it's going to come in handy a lot of times when you have those vowel heavy racks. Okay, though, I mean, the QX draw was very much not what I was hoping to see there. I have a spot to play an X here, of course. I could just play Pox. That scores 33, which is pretty good, but keeping the Q along with the blank is really not what I want to do here. Man, this is tricky. I guess it's probably worth the points to just play Pox and then hope and pray that I draw some help for the Q. I could draw U, I suppose. There's only one that just hit the board. This is definitely not thrilling here. So... yeah, I mean, I think I have to just suck it up and hope for the best here. I could draw, I mean, there's stuff that can happen here. I can draw an I and play QI. I could draw AI and play QAID for a whole bunch of points. Maybe I draw U with some other vowels. But odds are pretty good also that I draw no help to the Q and I probably have to exchange on a subsequent turn. So, okay, let's go for it. Let's see what we get. The score isn't that far out of reach right now, 81 to 124. Okay, so I drew tiles that really make me feel like the likeliest outcome here is going to be exchanging the Q. There's nowhere to really play it here, and in fact, I'm probably going to exchange maybe one more consonant because I really want this line to be hittable, and the only letter I have that plays there is an E. So I feel like until I get another hook to that spot, I actually want to continue to sort of cycle through. Okay, so you can see Eddie's here. He's ready to rock. I don't think I have a play that I want to put on the board here, but let's think about it real quick. If I did, what would it be? I guess I could play something like Lend and Dex that scores decently well. Is there a way? Maybe I can burn my blank on the Q here if I had some QU play. I don't really see that happening for me here. So the real question is, if I'm going to exchange, what should I exchange? I guess what I should do here is really just exchange the Q, because all this other stuff is so strong. If I draw any vowel, I'm going to bingo every time. And even many of the consonants, I'll be able to bingo with. Like if I draw a D, I'll play candled. If I draw a K, I'll play clanked. If I draw an R, I'll play candler or some other stuff. So pretty much almost any draw is going to bingo after exchanging just the Q here. It's not going to bingo where I want it to necessarily, which would be this spot here. Ooh. So hold on. Enlaced. Yeah, so now I actually did draw a bingo that fits here. Well, I bet we can draw something better than this. Because I'm turning the blank. If I play this, I'm turning the blank into an A, which is on the bonus square. So maybe I have something better. Let's think about this. I have enlaced, decline, include. Okay, so include. Include works. That gets a few extra points in this spot, and that's going to get me right back into the game. So you can see this goes back to the Ka turn. I could have played Dak in this same spot, but by playing Ka and opening myself up a line, that does very little good to Eddie unless he has a bingo, but does me a ton of good if I can get that bingo eventually before he does. That's I'm about to reap the benefits of that here. So yeah, I guess I mean, it seems like Eddie is here. He's playing his moves really, really fast. So I hesitate to turn off the recording at all, but maybe we'll just wait a minute and see. Give him a minute to play. All right, Eddie's played his turn. Let's have a look. And the turn is he just plays and hex. Okay. So I'm going to play include here. I'm pretty sure that that's the only play that doesn't put the blank in the good scoring spot right here, underneath here. And it's going to score a whole lot of points. So after being down early, I am about to be up. It is worth noting, though, that a play like this, so Eddie has played one U, another U, and a third U, one after the other. I'm about to play the fourth one here. Although, wait, no, that's the blank, sorry. So there is one more real U lurking. And I just exchanged the Q. So just throwing that out there now, that the Q could start to become more annoying later in the game with none of these U's to go with it. But more important is that with such a small play, it seems like even though I'm about to take the lead with this play, I could easily see Eddie bingo against me, and there's easily places to do that. This is an easy place to play a 7, and now there's a good place to end in D. And I'm putting some pretty good letters on the board to play 8s to, so my lead, such as it is going to be pretty tenuous here. I'm only up by 20, and I could easily be down a ton again when it's my next turn. And I drew, okay, so now, so I'm seeing this really quickly. I definitely am hoping that that stays open. The odds are pretty good that I will be able to get this play of Alarummed. Yeah, we can see what that word means, a call to arms. Alarum is definitely a word I've heard of before. Scary thing about this play, of course, is it creates a massive scoring opportunity, but nevertheless, I really, really am hoping to be able to play my 76-point play on my next turn. So looking around just to make sure I don't have anything else that I'm missing. Just so you guys know, this is kind of cool. Like, I like the tiles to be alphabetized on here, and you can just hold down the shuffle button and it pops every tile back into alphabetized. I didn't know that until recently. So Yeah, it's hard when you want a play to be available this much to come up with some backups. Like you get into these situations where, oh my God, I need this play to stay available as often as possible. But it's really helpful to try to come up with at least some kind of a backup play if you can. Um, so in that spirit, I'm looking around. I'm trying to find like ramula is not a word, just something that lets me have a good backup play here. Not really seeing one, so the difference between the play I want and plays that I'll have to settle for if they get blocked is pretty big. So we'll give Eddie another minute here. All right. So I'm sitting a little lower in the chair. You can't see it, but there's a cat right here. Eddie has retaken the lead, but it's not as emphatically as you would expect if he had bingoed. And he plays web, not blocking my big spot. I don't think there's any circumstance where I can't play this. It's just too many points, and I'm just going to have to hope that he does not crush me underneath this A, which is very possible. There are many, many things that can happen, but for 76 points, I'm going to need to hope for the best and hope that he only has an intermediate scoring play, maybe 35, 40 points. If I can get away with that, I'll consider that a huge success here. So fully expecting him to play in this spot, which means I'm going to need something else. If he does not play there somehow, which seems close to impossible, I'll just play something like, I'll just play vow here probably. I don't think I have actually very many longer words in this rack. The VWG combination's not ideal. I don't have an E or anything. So not imagining that I have very many long words there. Of course, if that spot does get blocked, I do still have some nice ideas up here. For example, I can play VOG for 30. The nice thing about this is the V in this spot makes it impossible to hit the triple. So my position is rapidly improving, but all of that is pending not getting hit with something massive here. Oh, and there's Eddie's play. You can see he just made his play. That is incredibly lucky for me. That is one of the best case scenarios outside of maybe exchanging or something like that you could ever expect to see. That's really lucky, without question. So, I'm going to consider that a huge win for me. It's worth noting, again, this E has been sitting here. It would be great to have a 7-letter word ending in E, a non-bingo that reaches the triple. I don't believe I have a play like that here. So I'm pretty sure something like, why would I play VOG when I can just play vow? This is clearly better. A bunch more points, gets rid of the W. I have outside chances of drawing an N to go with my G. Not sure where I would bingo with ing, but we'll worry about that if we draw it. This seems clearly correct here, so I'm just going to go ahead and do this unless I'm missing something pretty obvious. Oop, the cat is up. Here she goes. And hopping into her seat adjacent to me to try to help me out. It's going to let me sit a little bit higher here. So yeah, this is what I do when the cat wants to sit on my lap. I just put out a little blanket and let her sit on me as I do my work, my Scrabbling. And now she's right here instead. Yeah, you're so cute. So my situation has rather rapidly improved in this game for sure, although this is not a wonderful situation here. These tiles are not going to score very much, and they are going to certainly not going to bingo. So that combination is not great. But in situations like that, we'll see what Eddie plays. It seems like he's like ready to rock here. Not that I want to rush him, but yeah, in situations like these, you have an opportunity to make plays when you can't really score very well. Either you can fish, of course. I have a possibility of playing something ending in IER if I'm able to play off one of my two I's, maybe my O, something like this somewhere. That would give me a really good bingo leave. Alternatively, you can try to do something that constricts the board a bit more, even if it means not going for broke for a bingo. Okay, all right, there we go. Eddie's back in the game. Nice bingo. So he's right behind me, and this isn't great because my tiles are not so great here. And there's, yeah, the blanks are gone. Let's see, what else? We have 3 S's still. The Q is lurking with no U's, 12 vowels and 24 consonants unseen. So that's pretty heavy sway toward consonants. So that being said, just for the record, you can't have a retrier. Just etrier, something like that. So it's tempting to play something like this, frankly. This scores decently well. It leaves me 2 vowels and 1 consonant, again, drawing into a very consonant-heavy pool. So I like leaving slightly more vowels. So when I fill up with consonants, I'll still have a nice balanced rack on my next turn. The only negative thing about this is putting a G in the triple lane, but the G is not so bad. It only scores 2 points. Is there a possibility of him having ing? Yes, but there's only 1 I, so it's a little bit less than usual. And it does block off the E, which is always a scary thing. The J is also lurking. I'm just trying to imagine how dangerous is this spot right here. The X is already played, so there's no need to worry there. So yeah, I mean, I do wonder though. Scores 20, leaves EIT. Surely there's must be some other way to avoid placing a letter in a triple lane unnecessarily, right? Like maybe there's, well, I do have this play, actually. 22. So this play scores 22. It doesn't expose any letter in the triple lane at all. And it leaves 2 vowels. Again, I'm going to draw a ton of consonants here. So this looks better, scoring 2 more points and avoiding giving that triple back, which that would immediately be the easiest place for Eddie to score if I put a G right here and play 0. So I think I'm liking this as a bit of an improvement over that. And again, we just have to hope. I mean, even if I draw a ton of vowels after this play, if I do draw a ton of vowels, it's not the end of the world because it means that Eddie likely has a ton of consonants that he's going to be struggling to use. So keeping EI is almost, it's only two things could happen, both good. I draw a ton of consonants and have a balanced rack, or I draw a ton of vowels and Eddie is slogging through his own problems. So I think I like this a little better. It does create some underlaps here. If Eddie has an A, of which there are a lot, oops. So the eta hook is potentially going to play right here with overlapping plays. That might not be great, but I think I can live with that. I'm going to be up by 30-ish points after this. So let's see what happens. Let's play this. I think I like this better than 0. And we will discover what's happening. Oh, okay. So there's that cue. Actually, this is a perfectly good spot for it right here. Feek for 36 is quite nice. I suppose I also have this if I wanted. I drew the S along with it. So that was a really, really nice draw if I'm going to draw the Q. That's about as good as it's going to get for me here because, again, there's no U's to draw. I have a Q play that actually fits in this spot. So guess I'm mostly just hoping for Eddie not to have a devastating play under here. And at least Feek is going to be a pretty nice play for me to get rid of my Q and score well. And I have other options too. So feeling pretty good here, but we'll see. There's still plenty of ways that I can get in trouble here. Bingo ending in D, bingo ending in ING. This is not really very easy to hit at all. It's not impossible, but it's not scary. It really is just these two spots right here. And those aren't great, right? Like those aren't going to score a ton. So even if Eddie bingo's in these two spots, either of the two spots, I can usually overcome that. So we'll see. We'll see what he does. All right, another move here. The score is very close. This is going to be tight here. Let's see what he does. Okay, so there is that A hook that does score pretty well. It could have been worse. It could have been worse. I cannot imagine how I'm supposed to get away from Feek here. It's just very clear that I need to use my Q however I can. The other spot for it just got blocked. The only issue with this, of course, is there is one more I, and it would score pretty well as a parallel play, but it's not going to be very easy. Whoops, let's not do that. Yeah, this seems like something that is almost forced for me here. So let's go ahead and play this. And hang on to my S. Okay, I have a bingo here that's not likely to play. Taongas. That is a valid word. Don't think that's going to fit. It's possible that after Eddie's next move, he'll try to open some space on the board somewhere. I guess if I wanted to, I could play this, but this does not. As appealing as a scoring play as this is, 27 points is kind of nice. I definitely am not a huge fan of that play just because I have the lead. The board is so constricted and creating a bunch of 8-letter options for Eddie to play through when really he only has, I mean, a D. There's one D and he has to have it and have a bingo ending in D in this spot. Whereas if I play Taonga, it just opens the whole board up. So if he has that last I guess there's a possibility of him playing something short here that evens the score, but I'm actually okay with that because then I can play something like this if I want to. Actually, that doesn't score as many points as I thought it would, so maybe we'll try to find something else. But I think I have a good position here and I don't want to squander it, so just have to see what Eddie plays, as always. Uh-oh, not good. Looks like Eddie bingoed, which is bad news for me. Nice, so he hit that G. I don't think that gives me anything, unfortunately. It's kind of tricky. Not quite. The C doesn't have enough room. Okay. The situation has changed quite a bit. I am in some trouble, so let's see. Something like this is going to score decently, but it's also, I don't know. I keep this nice leave, but I don't really have a good place for it anywhere. Three O's and one A. All right, let's think about this. The unseen tiles. 5 vowels, 11 consonants. 2 Y's and a J. And then BHP. So, wouldn't say great bingo tiles here. I have the S. He could have an S. The S isn't even that good here necessarily. If I draw the other S, maybe I can do a 1-2 punch of plays. If I draw the J, what happens with that? I'm not really seeing great. I mean, the J could fit here in this spot and going down, but I'm actually not seeing. There's really no threats there that make the J that scary there. Of course, a J play would still be good to hit the triple here. The reason that I'm balking at this play is simply that I would love to play something through this I that actually put an S hook on the board. So like something like that doesn't score anything, but even something like this makes me feel better because I would, if I hit a bingo ending in S, I would at least be threatening a spot to play. That's not a very straight line. I mean, it's not impossible that I should play this now. If I do this and then draw the J, I'm scoring well with it. And if I don't draw the J, it's possible that I'll hit this T with a bingo, holding ST, but I would need to draw vowels, and that's not a given. It feels a little crazy to use up all my vowels on a play like this, especially with this just sitting completely open. If he has tons of consonants, playing through this I is going to be really obvious. I guess I'll just be patient and play a go and see what he does. I think given that there are not that many vowels left, it's going to be kind of tricky for him to play here. So I don't really know. Tough situation. I'll go with this, I guess. It doesn't make me feel great, but we'll see what happens. Okay, well, I drew a bingo. Tannoys. Doesn't probably fit anywhere. Uh-oh, this is bad. It's a lot of extra points here. Oh man. Well, at least this does put an S hook out there. But this is not great. Nice play. The D is still lurking here, but that was the last E, so something like this maybe. Scores pretty well. 31 points. This actually puts me roughly even and gives me SOT, which is decent. Given that BHP are all unseen, it's possible. I mean, I pretty much have to cover up this spot unless I'm going for a bingo here. Get a bingo that's going to stay open here. There's no real space in this part of the board here. Pretty much any play here is going to block everything. At least as far as I can tell. So I think I have to try to go for a high-scoring endgame, maybe. If I do this, maybe, I don't know, seems unlikely. Hi, cat. Seems unlikely that I'm going to draw into an outplay, which I really need here badly. That's with 2 in the bag. I'm getting 2 more tiles. I would need a 5-tile outplay. That's what's kind of scary about this. About this. So this doesn't take an S. Scores decently. This overlap is kind of scary. Still would have 5 tiles in the end game. What about something like this? Now I have only 4 tiles in the end game. It's possible that I'll be able to go out, but again, if I can't do it for enough points, like what am I looking for? Something here? Maybe that is enough to go out in this spot. Like slipe or something. I mean, these are really... I don't know. I think I'm in trouble here. I'm just going to play canny, I guess, and get as many points as I can, make the game close. But if I don't draw an outplay here, I'm in deep trouble. Okay, I mean, that's like as good of a draw as I'm probably getting. Yeah, I think his tiles are too good. I just blocked myself to be able to play stood. I think I'm in trouble here. I mean, I do have this, I guess, but he's going to be able to play in that spot too, and I think he's got me. So we'll see what he plays, but I think I'm in serious trouble here. Okay, this doesn't seem good. Eddie with a nice size lead here. He plays show for 27. Okay, that does give me a place to play this, but I don't know if this is going to win the game, so I may need to worry about that. So this scores 12 points. Well, okay, so I'm trailing by 29. So this scores 12, which means I need 17 points from his rack. Wow, this is getting, so 1, 4, 5, 8, 9, 18. Oh man. I think this is going to be a 1-point win because I'm getting 12 points for this play, 18 points from his rack, and I'm trailing by 29. So I'm getting 30 points for this play, needing 29 to tie. Yeah. Definitely concerned that if I do something like this, which scores better, um, these nice scoring letters are going to be pretty easy for Eddie to use somewhere or other. Like he could just play BAP up here for a pretty good score, getting rid of that stuff. So I think looks like this is going to be a 1-point win after all. Let's see what happens. I'm pretty sure the math is right. Yeah. Wow. So yeah, so you can see the letters crossing over to me at the very end of the game. Holy crap, holy moly. That's a hell of a game. I wonder, I guess Eddie might have had some other ideas in the end game there to avoid me doing that, but I certainly felt like I was in trouble, but that's, I guess, the upside of a play like Canny is it creates a situation where you might squeak it out in the end game. So, wow, great game, Eddie. What can you say? That was really close. A 1-point win for me. I'll take it. So, without any further ado, we'll close. We'll conclude this video here. I feel like I just dodged a big bullet in that game for sure. But wow, what an exciting game. So thanks for watching, everybody. Hope you enjoyed. I'll be back soon with more games just like this from our community groups, and hopefully some more content as well coming up soon. So thanks, everybody. Catch you later.